So today, to test this streaming feature, I'm going to build a quick data model. I've set it full screen so you don't see this is actually the browser. I'm not sure if that brings any value to show it like this. It's pretty disturbing actually, because we're used to have like multi-tabs. So this is a development instance, so data may be a little weird sometime. This is not like a fully prepared marketing demo instance. This is really what we use for developments. So in my case, mainly testing. I like to test any new features that come out from our development team. So yeah, let's do something for a new data model where we would have. Do I have purchasing? I have purchasing your request, but there's no model here. So we'll call it an order, and it will have items. And basically, what we want is we want items to have a unit cost. The order will have multiple instances of the item, or there will be a quantity, and what we want is to get the total amount of the order, but we'll have it in purchasing. So first thing is I go here. I don't know if anyone has if you see this video. This is pretty recent. Actually, I'm not sure this is in 2.7. It might come in 2.8, where it actually reflects the same. It is the same visual as in your login screen. You can change this here in settings, the background image. You can see that this is a lot clearer here than here, where it has like a layer of yellow to red. This is to mention that this is a dev instance. So if you're in production, this would look different. You would have this layer. It's just another way to show you where you are if you have multiple environments. And it looks prettier than just the gray that we used to have. So we're building our data model. A few updates also on this gconfig. We changed the font, so everything looks a bit better, nicer than it used to be. So we created in the purchasing package. We don't have to. We could create an order package. It's not related to where it appears in the main application. But let's do it here. Add unit type. I'll create something called order. It's not a new package and it's not a relationship. We can change. Let's put this. And we will create a related node type called, or the relationship of the order item. Make things very simple. Create a tab. The tab will be called items, and it's 1 to n. So if the item will not be reused, it's just, it could be reused, but in this case we won't reuse it, so it's just 1 to n. So if you remove an order, all the items will be removed as well. Okay, looks all good. We don't want to show form for the item, so we'll say form disabled. The item as a ref here. We can put a unit cost. Okay. And we will also, so on the relationship, so let's use look at order first. So order, it's going to have a description. It has a ref already, and we will also create UI total cost. Okay, I want to add, I didn't add the description, the ref. Yes. Okay, description is there. And description, okay, total cost. So the total cost should be a double, and we want to reflect it here in the columns. Form designer, auto generate. This is a basic feature when you start to create a new node type. By default, all the new, and that's a new configuration we've done for the 2.8 version. If you create a property, it goes by default in the information group. So then when you start a new node type, you can directly click auto generate, and it creates the form with all the fields from the information group. So we have this tab here, create items. Related object, that's good. Open creation, no. So let's put this in the purchasing menu. And on the relationship, we want the UI to reflect. So we want the items properties, and so description didn't work, so the ref at least, and we want a quantity here, so QTY quantity is integer, double, let's put integer for now. UI integer here, unit cost should be double, and if we then go to the client, so that was something else. Order. Oh, I think I tried this example earlier, so I still have data. So I just remove this for now. Add order. So the form, we'll see why the form didn't display. The items are here. Unit cost ref. What I want also is to make sure that once I create an item here, I can then edit, because I can't open it because I disabled the form. I need to be able to edit directly in the grid. So we need to validate the form, check this. So let me open a new okay. Here, order the form, auto generate. We put a longer description. Okay, and I said in the grid, I want the fields to be editable. So here, editable, true, true, true. Okay. So if we refresh here, Okay, now we have description, total cost, and you can say this is, and ref is item 1, and quantity is 34. Let's add a few more. Item 2, and 7. Okay, now the goal would be to, if I save the order, I would like to have the total cost here. So for this, you need to have, so we're going back here, and so order on save. Maybe I don't think I have this method already. So we going to home, methods, calc, order, total cost. So basically what you get is the node equals is the data because we will run this method on before saving the node, and so we'll get the information from this. Then we want to retrieve the relationships, so we use data service here, all, and what we give is what relationship we want to pass. So what I like to do is and maybe in the future we will have methods and the data model in the same screen, or at least we will be able to view the data model in an easier way, because now for example, I want to fetch all the relationships from this node, the relationship that are relevant, and I don't know the name, so I need to go here, and this is the relationship is called order item. And I need to provide the source node and the user. So and if you can't know this just by heart, so we have in the documentation you have sample methods, and that's another thing that we want to make available more easily. So maybe in a tab here we will add sample snippets or code snippets, so you can it's easier to retrieve how to fetch data and update data. So here we say we want user. Oh, we don't have user, so user is on data, so const user equal data.user, user and node. So here we should retrieve our relationships. Then so it returns potentially an object with error, so const relationship equals rels.data, and then we'll calculate the total amount. So total amount is the sum of the products of the quantity which is on the relationship and the unit cost which is on the target node of the relationship. So for the developers we use something called a reducer, because from this here we received an array, so an array of objects which contain the information from the relationship and the information from the target node. So we take this and we use what we call a reducer. A reducer will have an accumulator, so we will iterate the arrays, and at each iteration we'll do a calculation. So in our case, it's the sum of the product. And so the accumulator is the updated value at each iteration. So we have then the relationship. And so at each iteration, we want to increment the accumulator, which will be the product. Well, we'll add the product of the unit cost plus the quantity. So real target dot properties dot so here it's unit cost times the quantity which is on the relationship. And we want to make sure the accumulator starts with the value 0, and then we update the node property. So the node properties dot, and I don't remember how I called it, order total cost equal this total amount. So the node will be, I'll just catch this console.log.error. So if I have an error or if I want to log something, this is actually a local instance. So I can have my server here, which will return some logs if I have any issue. The logs will also be, so this is in the console, but we prepared everything so that the logs could be written in some files. So that's an option that we are looking at if you are not used to either look at the console, or if you potentially have a tool that ingests logs, then we'll look at this. So the node will be passed, and as it will be run on before save, this will be saved then with the updated value. So just a quick review here. Okay, save. Then we go to Datamodel, and on order we'll put a method, add method, calc order total cost before update. There's no params here. Sometimes we have methods that we can reuse from one object to another, or from one context to another, and the only thing that changes is one small value. And in this case, we could use params that are passed to methods. So let's go back to the client. I didn't even have to refresh because this is a server method. So if I save it now, let's see what happened. Here, before update, it didn't crash, but I must have forgotten something. Calc order, not data, rails, where's data, relationships, reduce, calc. We'll see what we may have missed. That's the other thing that you can see in live streaming, is that you see more how what happens when you develop these things. Order item. Is this the order item, user node. I want to make sure I'm fetching the right rails. Okay, let's save it. So we have, you can see here, we have the right relationships. Total amount is not correct. So let's see why. The relationship is fine. Rails data is fine. Then relationship reduce. Accumulator, Rails. Oh, I didn't return the accumulator. That's why. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. That works. So that's if we change something here with smaller numbers. Okay. So that's an easy way to build an extension of your data model. You don't have to buy another software or create an Excel file that will stay on someone's computer. It's going to be shared with the same with the rest of your database, and you still benefit from all the features from Ganister, graph access, reports, etc., which is pretty nice. All right, so that was just a test, but I think it's interesting. It's a small demo, and the more we do this, if we're able to do this more often, then sometimes it's just going to be 5-10 minutes just to show what are the latest thing. The last few things we've worked on is really gconfig. We wanted it to be even better to use with no issue and with a better look and feel, better updates between these informations. So I hope you like it, even though you didn't see it live, and because it's going to be saved on our YouTube channel, and we'll try to write all the information that mentions what is inside this video. See you next time. There was a good experience for us, and so I guess we'll do more like this. Cheers.